Well, greetings. We are in season 2, episode 72 with my first ever, I can't believe it because she is one of my favorite, the incomparable Miss Tina Turner. So we're going to be doing her song, Private Dancer. And the Misheard song lyric is, stretch marks for dollars. And the correct lyrics is, Dutch marks for dollars. I love her. Well, and the funny thing is, she is one where, the older she gets, the pretty, she's just still looks great. She's like in her 70s, almost 80s. She is my idol. And I love singing her all the time in karaoke, people that know me. I actually love singing her We Don't Need Another Hero song from the 1985 film Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I love it all. I love it. And I try to attempt to sing her Ike and Tina version of Proud Mary. And I love it because, just a little insight, sorry about this before we get into it. Whenever I put that in and it flashes on the karaoke screen at a club or a place or karaoke place I've never been to, I get a lot of like mean looks like, no, she didn't put that up there. And I practiced many years to fine tune it to be as close to Miss Tina Turner's version as possible. And I know I'm getting close to it because I usually ended up there with those same people that are doubting me are giving me high fives and buying me drinks. So just have to show that I love her so much, and I have to do my best to make sure when I represent her in karaoke, it is close to what she would like. So anyway, let's start talking about Private Dancer. So it is her 5th studio album by Miss Tina Turner, released back on May 29th, 1984. So that's 36 years ago as of today. 36. Through Capitol Records, and was her first album released through the label. And there's a lot of backstory about that. We'll get into that. But the cool thing is, let's start about her, Miss Tina Turner, because her real name was Anna Mae Bullock. And she was born on November 26, 1939. Wow. And she's an American-born, they say Swiss singer, and you'll see why in a bit, because she moved to Switzerland and all that jazz. Swiss singer, songwriter, dancer, actress extraordinaire, also known as the Queen of Rock and Roll. Yes, God save this queen. She rose to prominence as the frontwoman of the Ike and Tina Turner Revue, and before launching a successful career as a solo artist, performer, and she's also known for her energetic stage presence. I would love to see her someday in concert. Powerful vocals, and her career longevity. Yes, Miss Anna Mae Bullock, Tina Turner. And like I said, she began her recording career with Ike Turner's Kings of Rhythm under the name Little Ann on Box Top in 1958. She was introduced as Tina Turner in 1960 with their hit single A Fool in Love, and then married Ike Turner in 1962, and the duo went on to become one of the most formidable live acts in history. They released hits such as It's Gonna Work Out Fine, River Deep, Mountain High. I've tried to do that many times. That's a hard one. And the Grammy-winning Proud Mary and Nutbush City Limits. Great songs. And then the duo disbanded in 1976 and a divorce in 1978, which tumultuous. In fact, if you haven't read her 1986 autobiography, I, Tina, My Life Story, or seen the movie of, What's Love Got to Do With It, you need to watch it because she has gone through hell and back. And she revealed in both, of course, the autobiography and the movie that she was subjected to many, many hits and domestic violence from Ike Turner. So let's leave it there. So did you know that in the 1980s, that's when Turner launched her, they said, quote unquote, one of the greatest comebacks in music history? I would agree, because as a young kid growing in the 80s, I kind of heard of her from those older songs like in the 50s. But when she hit this comeback, we'll talk about it more, at the age of 44, mind you, so close to my age now, and having this, big comeback with the youngins, it's just amazing. And she had her first single, Let's Stay Together, 1983 single, was followed by the release of her 1984 multi-platinum album, Private Dancer. The album contained her hit song, What's Love Got to Do? What's Love Got to Do? Got to Do with It? Which won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year, and it became her first and only #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. I am surprised. I thought she had many #1s, but that's the only one. Okay. And at, I said, age 44, so mid-40s, she was the oldest female solo artist to top the Hot 100. Her chart success continued with Better Be Good to Me, Private Dancer, which is what we'll be talking about today. And one of my favorites, I said earlier, We Don't Need Another Hero, Thunderdome. Typical Male, The Best, great song, I Don't Want to Fight, and Goldeneye. And during her Break Every Rule world tour, she set a then Guinness Book World Record for the largest paying audience, 180,000 for a solo performer. You go, Tina! And then her final Tina 50th anniversary tour is one of the highest grossing tours of all time. Wow! And in 1983, What's Love Got to Do With It? Again, the movie about her autobiography was released with an accompanying soundtrack, and that's when Tina also acted in the films Tommy in 1975, Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome in 1985, and Last Action Hero in 1993. I gotta watch that movie again. I forgot she's in that. So she sold over 100 million records. She's also one of the best-selling recording artists of all time. Has received, get this, 12 Grammy Awards, which include 8 competitive awards, 3 Grammy Hall of Fame awards, and a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. She was the first Black artist and first female to cover Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone ranked her among the 100 greatest artists of all time and the 100 greatest singers of all time. She has her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, as she should, and the St. Louis Walk of Fame. She was also inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Ike Turner in 1991, and is a 2005 recipient of the Kennedy Center Honors. And she is now a resident of Kushnacht since 1994, which gained her the Swiss citizenship in 2013. And that's when she relinquished her American citizenship. That's why if you look online, she's considered a American-born Swiss singer. So she's no longer a American citizen. And then after several challenging years of going solo after divorcing Ike, that's when Private Dancer propelled her with that, like I said, the biggest comebacks in music. And she's one of the most marketable crossover singers in the recording industry. It became a worldwide commercial success, and like I said, multi-platinum with all those songs. And the interesting thing is, I'll talk about it in a little bit, you know, it might not have happened if it wasn't for this one gentleman that really believed in her at Capitol Records. The album was promoted through 1985 in a 177-date worldwide tour entitled The Private Dancer Tour. And in 2020, the album was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the National Recording Registry for being culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant. Amen. So here's kind of what I've alluded to. Did you know number 2? So A&R man John Carter, bless his heart, of Capitol Records, is credited with relaunching her career of Tina Turner in the 1980s. In fact, he believed in her so much in 1983 that there was opposition within Capitol Records, and he signed her and managed her first album for the label Private Dancer. That's one way to say, screw you, I'm right. And boy, did it turn into a big success. The album itself was produced in England using several different producers, so many to list. And the release of that album, Private Dancer, was back, I said, on May 29th, 1984, globally successful. You've seen all the awards I've shared with, hitting many different charts. But again, I thought it's interesting where just the What's Love Got to Do, it's the only number 1 that she has. And then that tour, which again was the Private Dancer Tour, which started on February 8th, 1985 and ended December 28th, 1985. And she stopped in 60 shows in Europe, 105 in North America, 10 in Australia, and 2 in Japan. I love this information. There were opening acts, of course. In North America included Glenn Frey, bless his soul too, and Mr. Take These Broken Wings. That's Mr. As well as songs from the album. Turner also performed hits from her time with Ike and Tina, such as River Deep, Mountain High, Nutbush, City Limits, and Proud Mary. Man, I wish I would have gone to that tour. The music video for Private Dancer also featured dance choreography by a person by the name of Arlene Phillips, was directed by Brian Grant, and filmed at the London Rivoli Ballroom. If you haven't been, look it up. I got to see it online, and that's where it was. And it features Turner as what they said, a disillusioned ballroom dancer, although the song has also been interpreted as being sung from the perspective of a prostitute, hence the Dutch marks for dollars or stretch marks. I mean, hey, I got stretch marks and I haven't even had kids. I can understand. If you're going to give me dollars for it, I'll take it. And the last, did you know, number 4 was, blew my mind, did not know this. the connection to Dire Straits. So I did touch on Dire Straits in an episode many moons ago with one of my favorite karaoke jockeys, KJ, we call him lovingly, Mark Brando, on Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free. Oof. Apparently, the song was originally intended for Dire Straits' 4th album, Love Over Gold. The instrumental track was recorded, but Mark Knopfler considered the lyrics unsuitable for a male singer, so the track was cut. I did not know this. Legal restrictions prevented the original recording being used by Tina Turner, so 2 years later, it was remade by members of the group. Terry Williams replaced the original drummer Pick Withers. Knopfler did not appear on the track and was replaced by Jeff Beck. This is what Tina Turner told DJ Roger Scott about how this all happened. So let me just do a quote unquote from Tina Turner. Roger, I'm just kidding. Roger, Turner's manager, knows Knopfler's manager, Ed Bicknell. And Bicknell said, I think Mark has a song that could fit Tina that he never used because he thought it was a song for a girl. Mark produced a song and sang it, and after he did, he felt it was not a song for a man, so it was just sitting on the shelf. Can you believe that, Private Dancer? He gave me the track, and I copied it with Dire Straits people, and most of them. At first, I was going to try to put my voice on Mark's tapes, but there was a record company problem, so we got Mark's musicians, Dire Straits, and went into the studio. Someone said, why did you select Private Dancer? It's a song about a hooker. Is it because you've been a hooker? Someone asked Tina Turner this, and I was shocked. Or as Tina would say, and I was shocked. I didn't see her as a hooker. I can be naive about some of these things, but actually the answer is no. I took it because it was an unusual song. I've never sung a song like it. And I wish you could hear Mark's version of it. He's got a very English-sounding voice. It was really quite beautiful. And very arty song. So I put the old soulful touch on it. And yes, you did, Miss Turner, because it's still a song. When I try to do it at karaoke, everyone just like, oh, I remember this song. And it brings them back to that time. So from a February 5th, 2010 article on stuff.com titled, The Worst Guitar Solo in the World, Did You Know, number 5, Mark Knopfler had said that Private Dancer, the song, was ruined due to them drafting in Jeff Beck to play the world's 2nd ugliest guitar solo. So some have said he said that with sour grapes, but he didn't want to do the song. He's like, that's more of a girl song, I think. And when they replaced the guitar solo from him to this Jeff Beck, that's where this article came from. So interesting to know, but lots of twists and turns, not only in Miss Tina Turner's life or Miss Little Anna Mae Bullock, but also where she's gone today. I know she's married happily to a very, very younger man. Go girl! And lives in Switzerland and is just living the good life as she should, because she definitely deserves it. And so I'm so excited that I was able to do this, and I'm so excited that you guys can understand my love for Miss Tina Turner. So if you know her or she wants to come on this podcast, we'd love to pick her brain. Anyway, send us any suggestions for any misheard song lyrics for future episodes. So again, this is episode 72, season 2, and please, please, please keep singing those songs wrong. Bye!